Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're at, ladies and gents. I am Kura Isugami, your resident tinkerer and Medarot, and this is the Medarot News Network, to bring you all the latest developments and happenings with our favorite pet fighting robot series. Now, as we step into week 2 of the Nadesico collaboration here with Medarot S, it's going to be rather light on the content and rather heavy on the gacha this week, unfortunately. One of the big reasons for that, though, is that the model we are getting this week, which is Nadesico Hoshino, or the main model here in the center of the poster, we do also have 2 other models that are meta change capable, and everyone kind of knows how unforgiving those banners can particularly be. But with that fair warning aside, there is still a handful of, still plenty of opportunities for rubies and lots of rewards to earn, even as your other rewards you can earn and take away with if Hoshino decides not to come home. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into what was officially announced for this week, starting of course with the gacha banners and the lineup that we can expect. Now, of course, Adonis Singh and Geki Gengai 3 will still be sticking around through the end of the collaboration, so if Hoshino or any of the other 2 don't particularly catch your interest, you still have plenty of time to go after either of them. But with the gacha banners that are going live this week, we only have just one, and that is KSN02 Nadesico Hoshino, with a kit of Shoot, Full Charge, Conceal, Hyper Crept, Biped Legs, and the leg ability of Holy Grace. Now, at first glance, you'd probably take one look at that and say, so she's just a very stellar kind of support type unit, with the ability to use Full Charge maybe for some kind of metaphor snoop, which seems slightly out of place. But as you see here, she is also capable of transforming into a battleship type form. In this form, she exchanges her kit out of support entirely for long-range combat mastery, with Hyper Break, Hyper Missile, Hyper Beam, Flight Legs, and the leg ability of Pupa. Now, of the skills here, Hyper Break is the new skill that is being introduced with Hoshino, but it is worth noting that, much like any other skill that is basically just Hyper plus the skill, it's nothing really new per se, quote-unquote, and more or less just as much stronger variant of the original skill, just with the inability to dodge or defend on cooldown. But with the skill that we have here with a gravity, a gunpowder, and an optic skill, it's basically going to turn Hoshino from your master support into more or less a female god emperor, which we actually have not seen a lot of opportunities of, and it is also worth noting that Hoshino will be the first instance of Shoot Full Charge on a female, so going to add a lot of opportunities there for parts and part builds as a whole once she does officially hit the scene. Now, something else to mention as well, in addition to Hoshino when it comes to boosted rates, like I said, it's going to be pretty heavy and rather unforgiving on the gacha this week unless you somehow get amazingly lucky. And if you are a wanter, I hope and pray you shall be a haver. For the boosted rates, we have AAG-01 Fermion, the successor to the original Archangel type particle, with a kit of Full Repair, Drain Shot, Sanctuary, Float Legs, and Breakneck. In addition, she also is capable of transforming into a more Archangel-type form, exchanging her kit out entirely for Max Shot, Needle Guard, Max Vulcan, maintaining Float Legs but exchanging the leg ability for Reversal. Inversely, on the other side of the Angel Devil coin, we have ADV-01 Boson, the successor to the original Archdevil-type Grain, with a kit of Danger, Provoke, High Provoke, Wield Legs, and the leg ability of Hostility. Now, he also is capable of meta changing into another type form, exchanging his kit out entirely for Revenge Sword, Death Block, Hyper Survivor, Float Legs, and the leg ability of Fortress. So honestly, between Hoshino, Fermion, and Boson, you have a lot of very powerful and rather dangerous skills that you can have at your disposal. Hoshino in particular, for your all-in-one support and shoot nuker, you have Fermion for your very aggressive, selfish survival angel, and Boson for your pseudo aggro tank, more than your defined defender. So ultimately, very powerful skills between all 3 of these. But as a fair warning, because they are meta change type models, and the gacha banners and the rules for those behave separately. You either collect the model as a whole in all 4 parts, or you get nothing at all unless you hard pity it at its 25 full pulls. But at that point, you may want to start considering your life choices, because if you are spending to hard pity a model, you probably could be using those resources elsewhere. But I digress. One friendly reminder as well, Adonis Singh and Geki Gengai 3 will be sticking around again till the end of the collab, much like Hoshino will, so you have plenty of time to go after any of these if these are the models that you want to go after instead of the coming ones in the next couple weeks. With Fierce Battles we have this week, it's going to be a pretty diverse utility between all the models that are available. Nothing really that stands one above all the others, and they're all kind of on the same equal tier in my personal opinion. But they're all still very useful to have all the same for the skills that they bring to the table and what they bring to any Medarotter's library. Starting us up on this top row is RBT-05F Pimped Bunny with Beam, Count Repair, Shoot Trap, Wield Legs, and Charm. We have LLY0 Lily Madonna with Triple Laser, Tink Legs, and the leg ability of Haja. And GRM0 Wild Ukon with Rifle, Double Hammer, Biped Legs, and Radiator. On this bottom row, we have MNT0 Flat Stake with Triple Virus, Sea Legs, and Acrobatics. HPP01 Hippopotensia with Conceal, Double Break Hammer, Wield Legs, and No Guard. And last but not least, LBR0 Libra with Gravity Guard, and Anti-Air, Anti-Sea, Float Legs, and Premise. So like I said, you have a lot of very diverse skills that can be found this week between male and female. None of which are particularly aggressive or over the top of the other, and they all have their uses in one situation or another. So ultimately, it's going to behoove you to have all 6 of them on hand just in case in your part libraries, even if you raise it up to 3-star and call it there. But if I absolutely had to pick one above any of the other 6 here for who to farm, I would honestly have to give that MVP of the week to Lily Madonna. Primarily because Laser is a pretty well-rounded part you can't go wrong with using. It's not expensive or dangerous to use, and that Metaforce charge bonus you get for it for extra damage does end up coming in handy if you can comp for it and build around it for your female-type Metaforce nukers. So it's a very user-friendly part all around. Again, wouldn't hurt to farm all 6 just to have on hand, but if I had to pick one, Lily Madonna would probably be the MVP of the week. Now, as far as event stuff is concerned, it's gonna be relatively light this week, so not really a whole lot to expect, and not a whole lot to really keep the Ruby farm up and running, but still a lot of limited time rewards to be found all the same. This time around, for Wave 2 of the collab event, we have the opportunity to earn another profile banner here featuring Ruri, one of the main characters from the series, 3 separate gacha tickets, much like it was last week, and the biggest reward is the Fairy Medal, which is an Assist Nature Medal with a mastery in shooting, support, and defense, and leg masteries in float, in biped, multi, and flight. So it's going to be another support type medal more than anything else, but definitely going to be a best in slot for Hoshino if you do plan to go after her in as far as the gacha banners are concerned. Just bear in mind though that when it comes to being Metaforce reliant, Assist is not necessarily going to be the best in slot, because it does give you a Metaforce charge per action complete, but it's only a 3%, in contrast to Hunter or Sniper, that's 15 upon breaking something, Power Nature on every combat action completed, Guard for every hit you take, or Speed for every successful dodge or graze. So just make sure you keep that in mind, but the benefits of Assist Natures is that extra HP bonus, which will help guarantee your overall survival just a little bit better than most. This event in particular will be ticket-based, so it will behoove you to capitalize on mixing parts or pure sets, but as a friendly reminder, every part that has a bonus stacks per part relative to the team. So instead of previous, where it used to be just 1 part per bot to maximize on the highest bonus, now you can capitalize on using pure sets or mixed parts and still capitalize on the bonuses. That being said, to make the most of your bonuses, Hermione, Boson, Swimmer Mates, and Marine Killer will give you that +3 bonus per red ticket equipped, and the Fierce Battles at a +1 equipped respectively. For the Medarotter bonuses, it'll be a +3 for the SR variants of Hisaki or Hikaru. It'll be a +2 for either of those and Kirara, or a +1 for the end ranks respectively. Of course, given that we have the red and gold ticket bonuses, the collab models there at Nadesico Hoshino, Adonis Singh, and Geki Gengai 3 will give you that +3 gold ticket respectively, and the SR Medarottor will give you a +3 in that same regard as well. Me personally, this collab unfortunately has not been very kind to me, so it's going to be a little bit of a struggle, but it is also going to be worth noting that, again, because the main bots this week are meta change reliant, it is going to be rather unforgiving unless you have a lot of rubies that you're willing to burn and sacrifice for them. So do be sure you keep that in mind as you are pulling for models or as you are raising them. One other thing to mention as far as game stuff is concerned is that for the first time in a pretty hot minute since we've had anything update on this, that we do have a collab limited time marathon survival that will be going live as well, in addition to the second wave of the event missions. To explain marathon survival briefly, for every successful victory you have inside this particular event, all 12 parts of that round are added to a banned list, which means you cannot choose them again until you reach a checkpoint or complete the challenge. So essentially, this is going to be a test to see how well you've been paying attention to using other parts and raising other parts, whether you use them or not, and as a test to see how flexible you are with using things that you probably won't use right away, or how flexible you are with throwing a lot of builds together just kind of last minute to see what works and what doesn't. But it is still just as lucrative as any other event to be had and found on the side, so do make sure you complete this with the event mission as well to capitalize on the extra rewards you can find there. Now, this is, as far as I'm concerned, most of the game stuff that's pretty much completed here, so again, relatively light week in terms of what we can expect on that front. On the community base, we are still always looking for translators to assist us with any current projects or endeavors. Now that Medarot 3 is basically finished, completed, and packaged up, ready to go and open to the public, we have started seeing some more effort and work being put toward Medarot 4. So if you know somebody who is knowledgeable in coding, cleaning, Japanese, or has some time on your hands, or if you yourself fall into that category, feel free to reach out and join our Discord, ask around in the link provided below, and we're most certainly happy to put you in touch with the right people to fill you in on what has been done and what still needs done up to this point. Medarot 4 in particular is going to have a whole lot more text compared to Medarot 3 or even other older titles as well, so it is going to be a pretty hefty endeavor. So the more people that are interested in helping with that, even if it's just translating a few lines every now and again, any help is appreciated. Or if you know somebody, send them our way, and that also is greatly appreciated as you spread the word. For the weekly art highlights here on the MNN, I did have to highlight this piece here by Twitter user Koichi129, and who does a lot of very nice and soft Medarot type art as well. This one highlighting everyone's favorite feral weapon of mass destruction, Beastmaster. And I honestly love Koichi's art style with the rough sketch work, with the with simple lines, more of a casual type of approach, but also with their full-fledged art as well, with the very shiny, slick, metallic theme that it has going on there for robots. I honestly love the work that Koichi puts into it. And this one here by Twitter user Ribbontail, also known as Aeonic on Twitter, has been doing a lot of Medarot art on their page as well, and honestly, it's something that gives me life. In particular, focusing specifically on the days of Medarot 1 with Hikaru, Kirara, and Metal Beetle, and just a kind of flavor of art that you really don't see a whole lot of these days, in favor of, say, Ikki and the gang, or Azuma, or even Arase and Hisaki and Cross being the main protagonists of the current ongoing game with Medarot S. So definitely give both of them a follow if you'd like to see more of their wonderful art in your feeds. One final note before I do wrap us up here, just as a friendly reminder, I am always open for commission, so if you are looking for a live 2D model ready to rig, a 3D model fully rigged, textured, optimized, and ready to go, standard 2D art at varying degrees of complexity, or even something as simple as emotes, feel free to reach out to me on Twitter or on Discord, and we can most certainly try to make something happen. And I try to keep my prices in the relatively affordable range here on purpose, just to kind of keep things in that easy space, because starting off as a content creator is definitely very expensive, and especially if you want to start off right with emotes and a model and everything else that you're going to need, and I'm more than happy to try to fill you in and help with that. So feel free to reach out to me, and we can most certainly try to make something happen and get you started on the right foot. But with that being said, I do believe that covers basically everything, so like I said, it's exceptionally light week in terms of content, because most of the stuff that we expected, such as with new models or schedule with models and events, are kind of already to be expected, so nothing really new per se, and just stuff that we've already anticipated that's incoming. But if you'd like to know more, you can follow us below on Facebook at the Medarot News Network page, or the Metabots Forever community on there as well. You can also join us on Discord in the link provided and in the comments below to keep an even closer ear to the ground on the action. This includes any new links to merchandise, fan art, contests, my weekly episodes, or anything else of the like. That's the first place you're going to hear it before it goes anywhere else on the net. Additionally, you can reach out to me personally on Twitter at IsagamIKura, so if you have any questions, feedback, comments, suggestions, if you're a content creator that would love to collaborate with me, or if you're looking for someone to commission art from, feel free to reach out to me on there and on Discord like I said, and we can most certainly try to coordinate some schedules and make something happen. Lastly, and most certainly not least, feel free to join and follow these wonderful friends of mine as well on Twitter. Ribbontail, also known as Aeonic on Twitter, like I said, for a wonderful Medarot art that they follow and what they do, and very personal and very friendly person as well. And my friend UCsachinashi here, who does a lot of Medarot covers and has been working on game dev on the side in, I believe, Unity and Unreal Engine as well in their own personal endeavors. So definitely give them your support and follow as well for everything that they do and what they continue to work on in their own projects. But with all that being said, as always, I do appreciate you all for stopping in, just as you always do. And until next time, this is your host, Kura Isagami of the Medarot News Network, signing out.